freshmen. You might remember this parking lot. This is how you'll come into the high school. This is one of the entrances. So if you'll follow me, we're going to go down into the freshman hallway. We set up the freshman hallway so that all of the classes are together. In the remaining halls of our high school, each hallway is a different subject. Maybe one hallway is totally social studies. A different hallway is all English. But here in the freshman hallway, we tried to keep all subjects together so that it is like a school within a school. So I'm going to name the classrooms that you might have on your schedule. So follow me. The first classroom we're going to meet is Dr. Nevzadowski's. This is a general science classroom. The next classroom that you'll use is a math classroom. Mrs. Jonas has algebra in this classroom. It is 807. This whole hallway is called the 800s. So this is a math classroom. Social studies for most freshmen is going to be taught by Mr. McClure. And you can see that his classroom so we're hoping to keep all of these classes together, and the hallway is lined with lockers that we won't use to start the year, but eventually students will come back and these would be the freshman lockers. The freshman hallway also houses a computer lab. We have more classes. Mrs. Orlowski is one of our Spanish teachers. This is her classroom here. And last is our English classroom for many students, Mrs. Rush. Now there will be some students that have an English class and or other classes that are not in this hallway. So we're going to leave the freshman hallway now, and we're going to walk through and see how the school is laid out. If you look over here, you'll probably remember your old middle school library. Also, you still are able to come in through the main office of the middle school and come toward the high school this way. We're going to walk this way now. You'll see the layout of the high school is a bit different from this hallway. This hallway was originally part of the middle school, but our high school population got so big that we had to take over an additional hallway. Now we're entering more of the historical high school. You'll see that the walls are changing. We are now passing the girls' locker room. This is where girls will enter and exit the gym each time that they use it. The locker rooms are locked after students change and go out to do their class, and then are open again when students return. If you look at the end of our hallway, and even as we're coming up to this sign here, I want you to notice there's characteristics that'll tell you about maybe a key on how to get through the school. So you can see here that this is the green section, and you can see the tiles are all green here. That we have a brown section and a blue section of our high school as well. And that to get to those, you would follow that arrow. At the end of long hallways throughout our building, you'll see maps like this. You'll see different, that might mean a dead end, but you'll see them at long hallways so you can plan your route. This hallway right here is our English hallway for upperclassmen. Another English class that ninth graders may have is Mrs. Bonnick. Mrs. Bonnick's room is right here. Across the hall from Mrs. Bonnick is our gymnasium, so we don't have classes on this side of the hallway. But if we keep coming down this way, you'll see that we're into our art department now. Right now, these rooms are all cleaned and cleared and ready for the school year, but you'll see that once the student artwork gets in there, how beautiful all of the students can create their work. The other art class is right here. This classroom is more for the beginning artists. And again, at the end of the hallway, if you notice the map, and also if you notice to the side how the wall now changes to brown. The brown part of our school, all of it, is the parts that all students will need to use. So it also represents the middle of our school. At the very top of this hallway is the main office, and you might be able to see that sign. Behind me, you'll be able to see the library. You want to go in here. And then the last room that is in the brown section is our cafeteria. So, our cafeteria is right here. We have 3 lunches in our high school. They are mixed grade lunches, which means that you may be in a lunch with 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th graders, along with 9th graders as well. All tables will be put barriers up, and they're going to have some remodeling of this to make sure that everybody can remain socially distant while eating lunch. However, this is the basic layout of our school. We have 2 hot lines, and we also have a snack line. On either end of our high school, or of our cafeteria, there are a set of bathrooms. You can see the ladies' room there, and on the other end of this trophy case is the boys' room. On the opposite side of the cafeteria is similar boys and girls' rooms. Those are the only bathrooms that are open in the building. So unless you're in gym, you will use the bathrooms by the cafeteria. This is one of the doors to enter into a lunch line. As I mentioned, there's 2 different lunch lines and 4 different options usually offered every day. This hallway is our technology hallway. We offer a variety of trades. We have photography in this hallway. We have auto. We have metal where they're welding. We have a video class. We have all different things so students can get their hands into the trade that they're most interested in. Additionally, at the end of this hallway is the boys' locker room. And just like the girls, the boys must enter into the locker room before they go to gym in order to change. It looks like one of the gym doors is open, but do you want to take a walk? Let's take a walk. So this first hallway room on the left is our welding class. The next one here is our graphics and photography. Oh, and look, we could peek into the gym. When you're in gym, your grade will be made up of 3 different things: your attitude, that you participate in the activity, and that you've changed for the class. Those three things will comprise your grade for gym. This next room here is the auto shop. Students will work on their own or other people's vehicles. We have computers that allow us to do CAD drawing and architectural drawing using these systems. We have our own video, or our own, television studio, and that's behind these doors. And then last is the boys' locker room, and that's how you would enter into the gym. And at the end of this hallway, we have our wood shop class. Now in this tech hallway, we have labs and we have classrooms. All students will sit in a classroom and learn what they're going to do, plan it before going out into the shop area and doing it. And again, this is our manufacturing systems class. We have a construction class and some building trade classes. We're going to quickly walk out of this hallway. This is one of the hallways in our school where students will be able to go bi-directionally, meaning in both directions. Many of the other hallways will have a single direction that students can travel. So be aware of that when you start the year. While we're walking, I should say that gym class has the ability to go outside. Oftentimes in the spring and in the fall, teachers will take the students out to the track and do outdoor activities. Students are requested to change for gym, as I mentioned before, into shorts or sweatpants that are comfortable and shoes that don't mark up the floor. We are, believe it or not, almost done. We have one more circle to do, and we would have finished this high school. So we're going to cut through the cafeteria. Cutting through the cafeteria between classes is okay as long as there isn't a lunch going on. All students will travel from one side of the school to the other using either this hallway right next to us or perhaps crossing through this cafeteria. The main office is another place that can join the two sides of the school. However, the main office is locked. So all students, again, will travel either in this hallway or through the cafeteria to get from one side to the other. Now we are on the blue side of the school. Please notice the walls have changed now to blue. There's also a boys and a girls room over on this side of the cafeteria. During lunches, we'll sometimes have tables set up for resources or other important things, including military representatives, graduation representatives. As we go through this school year, that'll probably open up for us as well. This is going into the business hallway. Okay. And I won't go down this hallway, but I want you to see this is the 400s. And this is what a typical classroom in this hallway would look like. So if you're scheduled in any 400 hallway room, it's a computer lab, and it's typically a business class. We're going to come on out. The last part of this tour, as a freshman, you may not have too many classes in, but because they're upperclassmen subjects typically. However, I do want to show you the rest of the building so that you can see the full thing before you come in. You may notice there's a vending machine. Students are able to buy stuff out of the vending machine during lunch. And this hallway is our cooking class hallway. If the door's open, I'll show you into that cooking class. It also is where our auditorium is. And often, can't see in there now, but often when we do larger assemblies, it'll occur in the auditorium. We'll see how we use that this year. This is our cooking classes, so if you've taken basic food prep, intro to ceramics, intro to sewing, you might be in one of these rooms. This is the sewing room, and there's all kinds of fashion classes available. And then this is our cooking class. You may notice that our kitchen equipment is set up to be commercial equipment. So it looks more like the back of a restaurant than it would be your kitchen at your house. And this is what we're training students to do. All right. The last half of the hallway is our different math classes. And also our band is over here. So if you're in band, it's behind the stage. This is one of our first math classes. And the remainder of this hallway is, again, upperclassmen math classes. So we have geometry, we have algebra 2, we have algebra 3 sometimes, we have statistics, all of these things, calculus, all of these things are offered here. You can also see at the end of this hallway how there's another map showing that we are in the blue section, and that if you wanted to go green or get to the brown section, you would follow that arrow. All right. And we're on the last piece, which is heading down this hallway. On the left-hand side of this hallway is our foreign language. So we have Spanish, French, and German class offerings. We also, on the right-hand side, once we get to it, have our upper level physics and chemistry classes for later in this high school career. And finally, well, I'll take you to the main office. So second to last is the guidance department. This is where you will find all of us. There's 4 counselors, Mrs. Palco, Mrs. Scribble, Mr. Fitzsimmons, and myself, Mrs. Chernin. Mrs. Field is our guidance secretary. She is someone whom you will meet when you come in. We're asking all students to notify us electronically if you want to meet with us, and we'd be willing and really happy to meet with you at that point. The last place we're heading is to the Western Wayne Athletics Department. If you're interested in, once sports are open, if you're interested in becoming an athlete, this is the department that you want to visit. And in here, actually, we have a pleasure that Mr. Bob Black, he is in here. So he would be the person that you would talk to. The last place we're gonna go is the main office. This is where you would come if you need to talk to any of the principal, assistant principal, attendants, if you need to talk to a police officer, all of that is housed here. This would also be where you check in and check out of school if you leave at a time other than designed. So I want to thank you guys for participating in our freshman orientation, and I'm going to lead you on up. Have a nice day.